what we've got here is an example of a food preparation board. This is one that's actually been manufactured, not purchased. So what we're looking at is to do an access FM analysis of this board. So the first thing we'll look at is the function of the board. Well, essentially it's a food cutting board where it could be used on both sides, for maybe raw meats on this side and then cleaned off, and then flip the board over to use fresh vegetables or something like that, cut cheeses on or something like that. I think it's a modern type design that appeals to me. I'd more than happily have this in my home. The design itself is good, although I'm just thinking that maybe this thickness of material could be thickened up a bit. Maybe if that was 5-6 mil thicker, it could be used also for maybe meat tenderizing steak or something like that. The materials that are used, we've got 2 pieces of jarrah, which could essentially be offcuts. Jarrah is a not sustainable material grown in Western Australia. It's tough and very durable, so it's very suitable for the purpose itself. This material is quite dark in colour. This lighter material, which is a creamy colour, is European beech, and this European beech is farmed, so that is a sustainable material. The jarrah's quite expensive to purchase, and this is second grade jarrah, so it's not the best. The beech is not as expensive because again it can be farmed, it's sustainable. The beech has got a very nice grain in it. It's easy to work in that it's got a straight grain running that way. We've got, I believe, a great contrast between the two materials. Again, the beech is very hard wearing, so the materials are extremely suitable for the product. If you were making one of these yourself, we could actually use offcuts of material, which is what's been used for this board. So, as far as the aesthetics goes, what the actual product looks like, the size is approximately 400 millimeters long in its maximum, and just short of 300 on its width. So it's nearly an A3 piece of paper size. Aesthetically, as I've already said, we've got a great contrast between the darker brown and the cream of the beech. The grain on the jarrah is a lot more pronounced. It stands out a lot more, and the grain tends to be a lot more twisted on the jarrah as opposed to these light flecks in the grain of the beech. So the grain and the textures do look nicely contrasted together. I particularly like the design of this board. It's a very natural sort of shape, and it reminds me of actually a pear, and that sort of natural shape appeals to me quite a lot. As far as the weight of the board goes, it's probably a medium weight, and that again could be increased by thickening up the materials. Sort of person that would purchase this board, probably a young couple, a professional couple or something like that. But to be quite honest with you, any males or females of most ages, I think that this board, its design and its size and its versatility in use would make it quite appealable. Now, as far as the cost goes, I'd estimate to purchase something like this in a shop, a kitchenware shop, you're going to be $60 to $70, which is, you know, I think at the top end, not bad value for money. A lot of the expense there is in the hardwoods. They're not cheap. There's a lot of construction. I would imagine there'd be some sort of jointing going on here, maybe dowel joints or even some sort of domino biscuit. I'm not really sure about that. If you were to make one of these, there'd be a lot of expense in the handcrafting, the hand manufacture, certainly of this shape. However, if you made 50 of these in industry, well, you'd use computer-aided design and a computer-aided manufacture, possibly a machine router to actually help for batch or mass production. If we used cheaper materials, maybe softwoods, that would be okay to display something like cold meats or sausages, or cold sausage or cheese or something of that nature, but it wouldn't really be any good as a cutting board because the material's just too soft. But we could produce a cheaper version of this, but I think we compromise the type of materials, which might not be a good thing. As far as the ergonomics goes, we've got this handle here for hanging and for carrying, which again has got the chamfered edge there, which is very good because it makes it comfortable. So it's a very much a portable piece of kitchenware. Now, as far as social and moral issues with the manufacturing this, you know, we've got materials here, the jarrah that's quite expensive and isn't sustainable. However, the beech is, so one cancels out the other. We would say that the board is safe to use. I don't think these edges, the fact that this has got a chamfer running around this edge, means that this edge won't chip or won't split. So it adds aesthetically to the looks, but also it's safe to use. I think this is a very sturdy board that's well manufactured, and if it dropped, I don't think there'd be chips of material coming off it. So I'd also say that by using some sort of vegetable oil, and I think that this might be finished in a sunflower oil. We've got a natural finish, which is non-toxic, so that's good from a safety perspective. But, you know, from a social and moral point of view, we've got a product's finish that would be safe to put back in the environment. So that's a good thing. I think the fact there's no sharp edges makes it easy to use. Obviously, the upkeep of this board is important, and every so many years I'd look to just lightly sand this back with some wet and dry paper and apply another coating or two of vegetable oil to actually look after the product. So overall, yep, it's a cutting board that appeals to me. I think it's well designed, well manufactured, and well worth the money. Thank you very much.